I loved the thin shelving unit, inspired by Ottoman era and Parisian architecture. The guys used an installation that demonstrates a state of resembling paranoia experienced by hospital patients who lie in ANARE. I had time to stop by a studio that does light decor. These are not lights that shine, they are... So, friends, let's continue our exploration of the Dutch Design Week program in downtown Eindhoven. Let's start with the Barracks. Kzerne is a hotel and restaurant located in the former military barracks and arsenal, where visitors can also enjoy an exhibition of some pretty interesting works. I love the huge felt chandelier. If you don't like the huge one, there are smaller options. It looks quite striking. A cool table with integrated glass holders is a great thing for a wine-tasting party. The selection and staging here are very good. I loved the thin tin shelving unit, inspired by Ottoman era and Parisian architecture. The guys used original tin from the Parisian houses to create this piece, which employs the same technique and looks good. A very fun collection of lacquered furniture that was made again by machine. Machines with the same artificial intelligence designed it, with only the finishing done by hand. Of course, Dutch design can't do without addressing social and environmental issues. This is a cool project to collect water from the air. During the fog, due to the special shape of the elements, there are such small tendrils that there is a collection of moisture, which then flows down and somewhere accumulates. The project can be a good solution in regions where there are problems with clean drinking water. Although 3D printing is not a new concept, there are constantly emerging materials that can be utilized for object printing. A project demonstrates printing objects from their fruit residue, which involves crushing, squeezing them through a tube and using the resulting mass to print. Then we come to another important point on the design map of Eindhoven, the Academy of Design. In addition to the Academy, there is also the Institute of Technology, which also trains designers here. In the Design Academy of Eindhoven, there is a review of the diploma works of students of this educational institution, which largely determines the character of the city and its development. First of all, the academy itself looks like a shopping center, in a good sense of the word. There are some cafes, restaurants and reading rooms, and the exhibition is actually quite interesting too. Craft is the focus of many exhibits, including captivating ceramics, experimental pieces and intricate textile works. I particularly enjoyed the collection of furniture and lamps made with the assistance of bubbles film. The texture is really quite nice. There are a lot of reflections on origins and important issues that we don't really think about. For example, an installation that demonstrates a state of resembling paranoia experienced by hospital patients who lie horizontally and gaze upwards. A horrible white ceiling made of Armstrong panels and some kind of a ventilation outlet is all they see, creating traditional ventilation sounds that cause a feeling of insecurity and threat. A gentleman from the Parisian suburbs from a family of mechanics made the oil fountain to realize himself and show his ideas to the world. There are also more practical things. I liked the wine glass with a tilted bowl. Here you should give an A for presentation, because to make a piece of art to demonstrate your idea, it certainly deserves a certain amount of appreciation and attention. And the idea behind this invention is that when you go sailing and the yacht tilts, your lovely drink will not spill out of the glass, allowing it to remain in a horizontal position. The yacht tilts a little more, you turn a little more. The yacht tilts back, you turn the glass, and everything is in place and you enjoy a sea trip at a high speed. Students' attention to textile practices is also rooted in tradition, as Eindhoven was a center of textile production and tobacco processing before the 20th century. However, with the foundation of companies like Philips, practices have changed, but textiles and ceramics are still being explored and can vary in their level of interest. At times, they are still perceived as mundane objects made of dust and sticks. I found a funny example of the use of artificial intelligence in these handbags. They absorbed the signature features of Louis Vuitton, Gucci and Lacoste, creating quite amusing accessories made of plastic. A single sheet of steel is used to make the shelving unit, resulting in absolutely no waste. It's something more practical because I think collectible design is all very interesting, but design is very much about function. You know why the building resembles a mall for me? Because it is a mall. It provided a space to display these great works at the mall, and the Eindhoven Design Academy building is a little bit different. And from this location I didn't expect anything surprising, but it turns out it was wrong. The place called Shellin Factory has an ambience that strongly resembles the Pete Heineck studio. Firstly, a brewery is located here, with an exhibition set up right in this brewery. There are a number of objects that are quite nice in my opinion. It is clear that there are a lot of ideas for production from recycled materials, such as foam, rubber and plastic. Some interpretation of the same ritual is present. Some of the optical stuff is quite nice. The residents have a collection worthy of attention, which includes furniture, upholstery and different lamps made of plastic and flock. These items are quite nice and suitable for public spaces. Additionally, they are customizable. All in all, the place turned out to be very nice and very cool. Still, I keep asking myself where that line is between good design and just objects made of trash. Because the idea is the same, broken vases glued together into something new. But the guys get some really nice things and some don't. Still the question. Here's another pretty nice location that was converted from a gas factory. ANARE is a creative cluster that offers workshops for residents. They make here some pretty nice light bulbs that are thoughtful and very fun to work with glass. Designer birdhouses that always amuses me. You probably didn't know there were designer birdhouses. The rest are crafts, pretty ordinary, some posters, lithographs and so on. But with this nice weather, the place itself, the atmosphere, immediately became better. I must say that the city is stunningly green and very interesting in terms of architecture. I recommend subscribing on my travel channel and watching my architectural and design walk around Eindhoven, which is very cool and interesting. But if you still have the energy left to absorb the design story and Dutch Design Week, don't switch just yet. Design Peron is the last location I wanted to visit in our Dutch Design Week review. Why Peron? Because it's a real railroad freight platform. There are various works on display here. Quite an extensive exhibition of textile objects. Textile design is quite interesting, encompassing everything that can be made from textiles, including fashion, objects, rugs and more. There are also ceramics, some of which I liked, some of which I liked less, and recycled materials. As for the lights, I forgot. In ANARE, I had time to stop by a studio that does light decor. These are not lights that shine, they are beautiful lights that create a certain mood. And it's great because in some places they can become an integral part of the interior. That is, the painting goes into the lights. In general, there are interesting ideas. Furthermore, the use of color in light fixtures that incorporate tubes for electrical supply is aesthetically pleasing, although this concept has been pioneered by the Italians quite some time ago. It is important to note that there is a vast array of designs. The personal preferences regarding them are subjective, so what I like you may not like, and vice versa. Similarly, what I dislike you may consider a masterpiece. The unique property of this design world is that everyone will find his own and every creator will find his admirer. And at the end, a couple more words about an important topic. A project called Flow was presented here. The guys from Virtual Design Studio create Flow with the idea that our lives are becoming too virtual. Virtual design, artificial intelligence, but sometimes we need to return to the roots. They show a flow that has nothing practical to offer, but the enjoyment of the moment and the living movement of the natural substance. I think this is an important aspect to keep in mind in our modern world. Friends, if you enjoyed my review, please follow, write a complimentary comment, give it a substantial like, and naturally share this video with your acquaintances. I think they will be interested, and at the same time you will help us promote our channel and this video in particular. I'll see you at the next design event. Okay, bye!